So apparently it's the new era of Monday Night Raw because Paul Heyman is in charge. I'm just trying to understand how it all came to life. Paul Heyman's first day in the office. So what is your first creative decision, Paul? So we're gonna blow up the freaking stage. That will do. I already love this man. Hashtag respect the walrus. Oh, and we're bringing back the Kanellis couple because why not? People are claiming that this is the greatest Raw episode of 2019. Do I agree with that? I don't know. I'll try to answer that question during the video. But I also appreciate the fact that WWE tried to relate to the fans people. Because you see, do you know what me and Maria Kanellis have in common? We're both pregnant. Welcome to another episode of Greatness of Raw. So just like I've said, it's the new era of Monday Night Raw because apparently Paul Heyman is in charge, but I don't really believe that he had all the creative control because to me, it felt like a Monday Night Raw episode, a good Monday Night Raw episode booked by Vince McMahon. It wasn't that special in my opinion, I'm sorry. I want you to answer this question. If you didn't know that Paul Heyman was booking this show, would you still think that it was the greatest episode of Monday Night Raw of 2019? Probably not. You probably wouldn't feel that big of a difference. I guess people were really into the beginning of the show. That was a great opening, I understand that, but then they showed the replay, and then did it again, and then they did it again. And again, I think it kinda got old. Do you people even realize that Paul Heyman is just transitioning into his new role and most of the show was actually booked by the WWE creative team and Vince McMahon? Anyway, so let's start from the beginning of this show. So the show opened with Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley. At first, I feel ya, yeah, I feel ya, you were disappointed. Paul Heyman maybe is running Monday Night Raw and he opens the show with Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Nobody cared. Two of the most boring individuals of Monday Night Raw. Who cares? At the beginning of the match, Lashley spears Braun Strowman in the ring, then they brawl outside. Bobby clotheslines Braun into the crowd. We got a nice looking suplex on the stage, and then Braun Strowman tackles Bobby Lashley through a screen on the stage, and the screen shatters. We got a bunch of fireworks. It exploded, people. Another highlight was Graves saying holy shit. So that was an amazing way to open Monday Night Raw because they knew that people don't really care about Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley. They decided to make it short and jump straight into an amazing spot. And that was actually the highlight of the show by far. If this didn't happen, people would not be saying that it was an amazing show. It was also kind of weird that it actually went for like 10 minutes. We had to watch this for like almost 10 minutes. We had to watch that after the commercial as well. I mean, yeah, it was special, but can we just move on with the show? I guess they expected that people will be tweeting about it all the time, and that's exactly what happened. People were talking about how great Paul Heyman is. I've also said that. I even included a good-looking gif. But after that, I don't really feel like the show was that much different from any other episode of Monday Night Raw. Don't get me wrong, it was still a great show, but I feel like it's kinda overrated. We got the Viking Raiders versus the New Day, so wild card rule is still intact. It was Xavier Woods and Big E versus the Viking Raiders. It was pretty decent until Samoa Joe comes out of nowhere and attacks Woods. Kofi Kingston makes the save and then we jump straight into the commercial. So that is the biggest WWE problem at the time. The wild card rule and this rule. Basically, they don't want wrestling during commercials. So throughout this show, in every single match, we had a commercial because someone interfered or it ended in no contest or it was a 2 out of 3 falls match, whatever the case may be, just to I don't know, it felt so forced. You knew that something is going to happen because they need to cut to commercial. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, and I still don't understand why they thought that it's actually an amazing idea. It made every match feel forced and uninteresting. I really hate this rule. Anyway, so this turned into a 6-man tag team match. What a shocker. It was a pretty decent match. I mean, you have the New Day, you have the Viking Raiders, all men are amazing wrestlers. You also had Samoa Joe in the ring, and surprisingly, Samoa Joe actually took the W because he locked a coquina clutch on Kofi Kingston, and Kofi Kingston just, went unconscious. You guys know that I really don't care about Kofi Kingston versus Samoa Joe, because Samoa Joe is ruined to the point that I don't feel like he's, a worthy competitor for the WWE Championship. But then again, if I would say something positive, at least I could say that Samoa Joe looks strong right now and he looks like a legit competitor after this match. We see Drake Maverick backstage with his new wife. They walk through the hallway and she complains that Drake is too obsessed with the 24/7 championship. The guy had a t-shirt with 24/7 and he needs to choose between her and the title. Drake tells her that he chooses her and he won't let anything spoil their time together. They hug and then Drake sees R-Truth behind her. Truth tells Drake not to mind him and he's a sucker for romance. Just like always, Drake Maverick and R-Truth are the highlight of WWE programming. Can you believe that? R-Truth, Drake Maverick, top guys in the WWE. I'm not even joking, people. These two are the most entertaining wrestlers in the WWE right now. We see AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson backstage. Gallows and Anderson don't believe that AJ Styles can beat Ricochet for the US Championship. They even bet on Anderson's hot Asian wife. AJ seems weirded out but tells them they're on. So they basically try to get AJ Styles to turn heel, I guess. We got No Way Jose versus Cesaro. Drake Maverick and his wife are sitting at ringside and R-Truth is counting Maverick ringside. A bunch of wrestlers came out. Cesaro knocks Jose out to ringside and follows him out. Cesaro hits a gut wrench slam on Jose and then follows up with a neutralizer at ringside. I don't care about No Way Jose. I think it's a horrible gimmick. It didn't work with Adam Rose. It's not going to work with No Way Jose. He didn't even get a push. Like, it took a couple of weeks for him to get buried. Yes, I know. But when it comes to Cesaro, he needs to do something. He's an amazing wrestler, but now he has the worst theme song in the WWE and he also has the worst attire in the WWE. They have no idea what to do with the guy, so hopefully they will come up with something because this guy needs a push. Shane McMahon comes out to the ring with Drew McIntyre, and of course they're talking about how they're going to defeat The Undertaker and Roman Reigns. I don't really give a crap about The Undertaker. Then we got a thunder and lighting effects, and the lights in the arena went out. The lighting strikes in the ring. Ooh! The Undertaker's music hits and he takes 55 minutes to get to the ring. Taker gets on the mic and says Roman Reigns never asked for his help last week. Undertaker says something weird about how he's going to take Shane McMahon's and Drew McIntyre's souls or whatever. I'm taking souls and you get the deal. So The Undertaker talked and he talked and he talked and he still couldn't explain why he decided to help Roman Reigns. Why would you care? Just retire. Enjoy the couple's t-shirts. Enjoy the vegetables. I'm not saying that I'm not happy seeing The Undertaker, but in kayfabe wise, why would you care? Roman Reigns, he's not your friend. It's not Kane. Kane is a mayor, whatever. I don't really want to talk about the Lacey Evans, Baron Corbin, Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, promo segments, whatever. I really don't care. But I gotta say that Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans has more chemistry than Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. I'm starting to believe that they're not actually a couple in real life. They have zero chemistry at all. Like absolutely. Later in the show they were interviewed and everything feels so awkward, like seriously. They got interrupted by Maria and Mike Kanellis, and Maria said that I'm very tough because I gave birth to a child, whatever. Maria challenges them to a match tonight and says, how about me and my take on you and yours? They accept the challenge and it looks like we have a mixed tag match tonight. So another positive of this episode of Monday Night Raw is that we got a bunch of swears, like seriously. And I don't know how WWE approved that, but I'm pretty sure it was Paul Heyman's decision, so I really appreciate that. By the way, the NXT Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, were here for no reason whatsoever. I really don't know why. They want to bring the swag back to Monday Night Raw. They were messing with Paul Heyman. That was a pretty funny moment, but I still don't understand why they were on the show. We got Lacey Evans versus Natalya. Highlight of the show. You know what I wanted on this episode of Monday Night Raw after I've seen this? After I've seen this, I was like, that was great. You know what would be better? Lacey Evans versus Natalya, and that's what we got. Amazing match, 6 stars. Shame it didn't happen in Japan. If it happened in Japan, 6.5 stars. But anyway, that's besides the point. Yeah, it was horrible. Anyway, so Lacey Evans won the match, and my battery is low. Lacey won a match with a right hand, and that finishing maneuver is absolutely horrendous. I know that Big Show used it as well, the KO punch, but Big Show is a big fat dude. He has a pretty big hand. Anyway, then we got the club manipulating Ricochet into saying that he's better than AJ Styles. Then the club came up to AJ Styles and they said that, well, Ricochet said this about you and he said that he can beat you easily or whatever. They pretty much said that Ricochet bragged about how he defeated AJ Styles and how he's going to do it again. That's not exactly what Ricochet said. So AJ Styles comes up to Ricochet, slaps him in the head. Ricochet slaps him back, and that was pretty intense, by the way. So this is already the best rivalry on Monday Night Raw. Ricochet accepted the challenge from AJ Styles to defend the United States Championship tonight. Then we got The Miz versus Elias, and that was just the lowest part of the show. Couldn't stand watching it on SmackDown, not really interested in watching it on Monday Night Raw. It was a 2 out of 3 falls match, so they pretty much just messed with commercials again. I'm not gonna get into it, but The Miz won the match with a figure 4. Then we got Maria and Mike Kanellis versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. That was probably the funnest and weirdest part of the show. You don't know how to feel, whether to laugh or cringe or both at the same time. I don't really know, but that was interesting. First of all, why Maria and Mike Kanellis are on Monday Night Raw. Mike Kanellis, by the way, decided to resign with the WWE for, I believe, 5 more years. The first thing he does is basically getting the biggest burial in the WWE I've ever seen in my entire life. So anyway, Mike tags Maria, she climbs out of the ring and grabs a microphone. She basically said how her husband is a huge failure and even Becky Lynch could defeat him or whatever. She buried the guy. Becky Lynch tried to hit her, but Maria said that she's pregnant. She also said she could not believe that a loser like Mike Kanellis could actually make her pregnant. To make things worse, he taps out in a few seconds to Becky Lynch. Here you go, Mike. The next time you decide to resign with the WWE, think about something like this. So like I've said, after the match, Maria tells Mike that she can't believe he's a father of her children. Maria says Mike is a failure and a disappointment, and she's waiting for him to be a man. Maria says the only man here tonight was Becky, so maybe next time she'll ask Becky to impregnate her. We got a moment of bliss with Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss. Who gives a shit? Who cares? Who honestly cares? We see Drake Maverick and his wife backstage getting ready to leave the arena. She goes into the bathroom and outside Drake sees a sea of wrestlers chasing after Truth and his 24/7 title. They all run past and R-Truth comes out from hiding behind a corner. Drake hits R-Truth from behind with his luggage and Truth goes down. He pins R-Truth and takes the belt. Mrs. Maverick comes out of the bathroom and sees Drake with the title. Drake tells her that he knew this night was supposed to be all about them, but now their honeymoon is going to be even better because it will be 24/7. So like I've said, R-Truth and Drake Maverick are the highlight of WWE programming. And finally, we got Ricochet versus AJ Styles. Like always, a very entertaining match. These two are amazing wrestlers. AJ Styles hits Ricochet with a phenomenal forearm pretty early in the match, and he actually pins Ricochet for the 3 count, wins the United States Championship, but the referee didn't notice Ricochet's leg. So he celebrates with the championship, but the referees announce that we are going to have a rematch because we need to insert a commercial break. Anyway, after the commercial, we got a very enjoyable match. However, Ricochet won the match with a small package. AJ Styles looks shocked, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson came out. It seemed like they are actually going to fight AJ Styles and Ricochet. However, AJ Styles turns around and hits Ricochet in the head, and he basically went full heel. Like, they destroyed Ricochet. If you've seen what the club did to John Cena, well, they did exactly that to Ricochet. So that was a great ending of Monday Night Raw, and AJ Styles really desperately needed a heel turn. He needed the heel turn back on SmackDown. Like, it got old, it got boring, so I feel like the second half of his WWE Championship title reign, he should have been a heel. Just my opinion, because, you know, he was one of the longest reigning WWE champions of all time, but the championship title reign was not that interesting in my opinion. So anyway, AJ Styles is finally a heel. Maybe they will find a way to insert Finn Balor into this because of the wild card rule, of course. And speaking of the wild card rule, I feel like after Extreme Rules, they should hit the reset button. Like, make every single wrestler into a free agent. Yes, I know, it sounds weird, but hear me out. And then you have a draft day. Every single wrestler drafted to a brand from the scratch. Will that happen? Probably not. So that was not necessarily an amazing episode of Monday Night Raw, but we got a few highlights like Braun Strowman breaking the stage, or AJ Styles turning heel, or Drake Maverick and R-Truth stuff. Even Mike Kanellis, I mean, that was entertaining anyway. So was it the best WWE Raw of 2019? Probably, I guess. I don't know. I feel like it's kinda overrated. I don't feel like Raw is like this amazing show right now and everything is perfect. It's definitely not. But was it the best show of 2019? You see, people, not a lot of competition. Not a lot of competition. Monday Night Raw in 2019 was pretty horrible. So was it the best? Probably. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on the show. Thank you for watching this episode. If you want to support the channel, make sure to click that like button. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And as always, ya boy, the great one. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.